So is it really fair for a transgender athlete to be competing in a sport, and in particular on this occasion weightlifting, that is for the most part based on strength?
Yeah, I mean, this is a story that will really divide people's sort of opinion. I mean, for me...
Do you think?
Well, for me, I didn't want to say this because I feel that, you know, I would like to be very open about it. But to me, Laurel went through puberty as a man, which has an advantage for her now. I mean, I did quite a lot of reading yesterday, and also on, I think, Simon and Alex's show yesterday, they had a transgender lady on who actually said, you know what, as much as I'd like to embrace this, it's not fair because through puberty, as a man, you obviously, you physiologically, you have that advantage, and that is just the way it is. I mean, this is weightlifting as well. I think the other thing for me is Laurel, who, you know, she lived as a male for 35 years, we know that. Yeah. But she didn't compete in international weightlifting until transitioning. So didn't do it till transitioning. Yeah. And since then she's won, obviously, several elite titles.
Against the women, I mean...
I think it is a little bit unfair.
It's extremely unfair. I think it's absolutely shocking, to be honest. I mean, eventually there will be enough people to have some sort of, maybe a transgender type games or something like that. But at this point, no, I can't, you know, I don't even see the logic in it. First of all, she lived as a man for most of her life. Secondly, as you said, in terms of when she actually started competing, I mean, and thirdly, it's totally unfair to the women, the actual women who were born biologically as women, to have to compete against her. And, you know, in things like, I mean, I was reading that in some things like rugby and things like that. I mean, that's ridiculous. You can't have somebody who is biologically, physically stronger competing in a sport with people who are biologically, physically weaker and say that they are equal in competition. It's just not acceptable. Well,
the other thing here is that it's meant that her inclusion has meant that a 21-year-old Tongan weightlifter, Manu Mura, has missed out. So she's missed out because Laurel is in. And again, for me, that doesn't seem quite right.
I think I just feel that we're trying to push a narrative on people, because if she doesn't compete, people will say, oh, you're transphobic, and I just think, no, that there has to be a sensible discussion on this, and we have to be honest that this is not fair. And if something isn't fair, I don't understand why it should be allowed, when I think the majority of people can see that as well.
Yeah, I think
even as you said in Gloria's show and Liam's show, somebody who is a transgender came in and said it wasn't fair.
Yeah, I expected them to say, you know, we're great, this is great for the transgender community, and she didn't say that. She said that absolutely, you know, actually, if you go through puberty as a man, you have that advantage, and that is just the way it is.